we think that it's the best election ever because it gives you, as a large segment of the population of this planet, an opportunity to discover that it was never about them anyway. In other words, the Republicans do not create your reality, and the Democrats do not create your reality. That's why they have managed to get themselves at such a stalemate. They've proven to you that they are ineffective. And as long as you are needing them to be effective in order for you to live happily ever after, you're in big trouble. And so we think it is the best election ever. And the outcome of it is irrelevant. They don't create your own reality. You do. But you can introduce a lot of resistance into your vibration by finding this or that or all of it to push against. They are not the vortex through which your well-being flows. They have minuscule influence on what happens to you. Your relationship with your own vortex, you're getting into your receiving mode. That's what influences what comes to you. The balance of your planet and all of its diversity is magnificent. And your nation and its politics are only a small spattering in the whole spectrum of all of that. And you don't try to control all of that or expect to, you see. If you can make diversity your friend, see it as a big buffet of many choices, and then you can become a purer, more deliberate, more personal chooser of your own thoughts, rather than allowing, you don't even know what any of them, either of them, in the case of what you're presenting here, really thinks, because you rarely have an opportunity to put it in the context of anything that is whole. Everything that you hear is already distorted by someone or some ones who are wanting to manipulate the way you receive it. And so nothing is presented to you in a pure enough form for you to translate it with any effectiveness through your own physical senses. You've got to get it through your solar plexus. You've got to get it through your emotional center, you see. And so you can listen for either of them to say things that help you to align. You can listen for anyone to say anything that assists you in aligning. But if you are dependent upon them saying something that helps you align, you put yourself in such a state of vulnerability, because it's unlikely that either of them will be able to say enough to help you align.
So how do I participate in this? And if I'm going to be part of the election, or if I want to vote for somebody, or do I even vote? Do I separate myself completely from that?
Well, first, understand that you are always casting vibrational votes for everything that affects you. We would never say, don't vote. We would say, don't worry about it. We would say, don't suffer over it. We would say, don't push against it, and don't ever, ever, ever ask anything to be everything that you need it to be, and never, ever, ever attempt to give anything your whole support. That's like saying to someone, you need to be exactly what I need you to be before I can feel good. You are in deep doo-doo if that is what is necessary. This will help you to understand what the uncondition of your alignment is really about, you see. You love because you choose to love, not because someone's lovable. You respect because you choose to respect, not because somebody is respectable. You can't let it be about them. You have to let it be about your ability to sift and sort and focus, you see.
All right.
Your nation has been in the process of becoming from the beginning. And there is sometimes a very distorted point of view that goes something like, well, the founding fathers, who, by the way, were experiencing a lot of contrast. That's how this all got started over here to begin with. So our founding fathers somehow sorted through the contrast and came to absolute clarity about everything and wrote it all down. And we say, They didn't even come close to absolute clarity about everything. And you were not privy to all of the discussions that brought about all of the things that and even those who signed those documents that are the basis on which you have founded your nation, they were not even in agreement with each other, even though they signed their names to those documents. But enough time has passed, and there was no social media for you to be up on every argument or everything that was uttered. And so time has sort of blurred your ability to understand the diversity that was present even in all of that. That was not a coming to a place of perfection from which your nation has been eroding and sliding away from ever since. It's all been and will continue to be in the process of becoming. And these people that have given so much of their life and time to get out there in order to gather the consciousness and help focus the consciousness, without exception, it would do well for you, your benefit, for you to appreciate every one of them and the contribution they are making, even if you do not agree with what they are saying, you see. If you can give up on needing someone to be lovable before you love them, you will be free. So if you would vote for every positive aspect you see on every side of the aisle, then you would be at least one who lines up with the vortex that you've collectively created, you see. And it doesn't take much before things start to shift. The thing that so often humans think they are striving for is an actualized harmony where the lion and the lamb lie down together. And it only happens after the lion has had a full lunch. You're looking for the actualization of everything that you think that will make you happy, when what you're really striving for. So look at it this way, you're really going to like this. So you accept that you are a focused individual here, an extension of source energy, who's explored contrast and who has put a lot of your own preferences in your own vortex. And that, let's say, everyone else, let's just say of voting age, has done the same thing. So you have all, through whatever you've been living and through whatever you've been observing, from whatever you've been thinking about, you've created your platform of what you prefer. Even call it your personal political platform. Your voice has been heard. But you're not plying Congress with your wishes. You're not trying to get people in government to hear you and then help you in your manifestation of these things. You have put your request into this vortex, and your requests have been unequivocally and without exception answered. And so, as any individual, if you can get into the receiving mode, then what you want in terms of improved lifestyle, what you want in terms of improved abundance, what you want in terms of more efficient this or more efficient that, these things that you are asking for are being offered to you in ways that you can never find and never rendezvous with if you're looking to individuals or even to bodies of people to be the actualizers of what you're looking for. It is paramount to forming a committee to keep your earth spinning in its orbit. Who will we choose? And we say whoever it is will be inadequate to the task. Who will we choose to move the water around this planet? What body of people? What government will they come from? Will it only come from the United States of America? Do you really want something that important in the hands of those who cannot agree on anything? Who have decided that their reason for existence is to denounce those people over there, and their reasons for existence is to denounce those people over there, and yet on and on and on and on you go without having assigned a body of people to make sure that your earth spins in its orbit, or that the water moves around the planet, or that the seeds that are not being trucked in from other planets continue to germinate and grow into food? Who will orchestrate the population management? Who will tell who to go have a baby? Who will decide these things? You cannot manage it from your physical perspective, but you can, as an individual, put yourself in a position to receive the benefit of not just what this current voting population is asking for, but all those who have asked before and 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 before. Control your connection to source and live happily ever after. And if someone says, how are you voting? Just say, I'm voting for the happy ticket. Which one is that? It's both of them, really. I make lists of positive aspects of both candidates every day. And that will stop the conversation right then and there. In other words, that will twist whoever you're talking to's mind into a knot immediately. Because they will not be able to accept that there is any positive aspect on the other side of the aisle that they're on. How can that be? Are you kidding? You're looking for a positive aspect over there? How can that be? Oh, well, we'll just wait. We'll gather all of the bodies of Congress together, and then with all of their intelligence and all of their experience and all of their ability to decide, all of their wisdom, all of the hundreds of years of experience that they bring together collectively, and then we'll just watch them not allow any of their wisdom to flow because they're all just mad at each other. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not likely to change, and it doesn't matter if it ever changes. They are not necessary to you. They're not the reason that you create your own reality. You are, you see. And can't you tell it? When you talk about political things, oh, Esther can talk as good a game as anyone. She really understands what's going on. In other words, she likes being informed, but she never, ever, ever gets into a political discussion with anyone that she doesn't get a knot in her stomach, because we don't come to the party. And when we're not at the party, Esther's used to us being at the party. She's used to infinite intelligence streaming through. And when she gets on a subject where she's all blocked off, where she's got herself all blocked off and asks for the energy to stream, but she's all blocked off, it punches her hard. And that's what makes you think we need to do something different. But the thing that you need to do that's different isn't find someone to open your valve. You do it, you see. You got to open it. And we know that when you find someone to hold as your object of attention that you agree with or who is easy to love, it's easy for you to have an open valve. We know that it feels nicer if you can just look at them and just enjoy what they say. We understand how good that feels, but it is such a trap because they're fickle. They're not going to stay on your side. And isn't it really such an interesting thing that your political parties have become so polarized that they are not allowed to have their own thought about anything? So they just speak the party line, they just speak the party line, they just speak the party line. They can't even have diverse understanding about diverse subjects. Oh, if you're that, then you got to think that about that and 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 that. So every time one of them opens their mouth, you know exactly what they're going to say, because they're not allowed to say anything other than exactly what they're allowed to say, until some blessed new event happens that causes them not to know for a moment what to say. We think your political system is wonderful just the way it is. It is diverse and meaningless to you.